From what we've seen so far, to me, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is looking like it just might be one of the best games in the series so far. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little upset that I won't be able to throw Pokeballs like in Pokemon Legends. That was a tough pill to swallow, but overall, I have to say, I'm super pumped for this game. With the release of this game coming soon, I just wanted to make a quick video talking about all the major differences between Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. But before we do that, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because together, we can defeat the YouTube algorithm. Okay, that's a lie. But I really do appreciate any support that you send my way. The professors in the game are going to change depending on the version that you pick. So in Pokemon Scarlet, you're going to have Professor Sada, while in Violet, you're going to have Professor Turo. Now here's where things get pretty interesting. There's a rumor going on that these games will somehow be tied to the past and the future, and there's actually a lot of evidence to back this up. Just by looking at Sada and Turo, we can see that they're dressed very differently. Sada kind of looks like she's dressed like a cave woman. We can see a few tooth accessories and torn fabric, very reminiscent of the past. Now when we look at her counterpart, we can see him wearing this pretty cool futuristic bodysuit underneath his lab coat, which seems to represent the future. But this does go further than that. As you're probably aware, the new game is Spain themed, and when we look at the professors' names, Sada and Turo, they're actually references to Spanish words, pasado and futuro, meaning past and future. Now, if we take our attention to the two legendaries of the game, Miraidon and Koraidon, their names actually take inspiration from Japanese words. Korai translates to ancient, while Mirai means future. And just by looking at the designs of the two legendaries, we can see that they're hinting at a past and future theme. Koraidon sort of looks like a prehistoric bird-like dinosaur, while Miraidon is a metallic lizard with pixelated eyes. He kind of looks like a man-made Pokemon, and there's actually a bunch of theories talking about that specific thing. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, definitely go check that out. Now I know that went on for a little while there, but the last thing that I wanted to talk about in regards to the whole past and future part of the game, I recently discovered that there's going to be past and future forms of some of the Pokemon. And to me, this really takes Pokemon exclusives to a whole new level. I love it. Overall, I think this is a great idea for the new Pokemon game. I do wonder if there's going to be any differences in some of the buildings depending on the version that you play. Now, I do understand that you can only go so far before you end up developing two totally different games, but I'm just curious to see if this does go any further than that. I guess the only way to really find out is when we get to finally play the game. The next thing that we're going to talk about is the Academy. The Academy you attend is going to differ based on the version that you're playing. So in Scarlet, you're going to attend Naranja Academy, while in Violet, you're going to attend Uva Academy. If you don't know Spanish, basically you're attending either Orange or Grape Academy. And when you say it like that, it doesn't sound that exciting anymore. Now there is going to be a few more differences aside from the Academy names. Otherwise, it really wouldn't be very unique. The first is the emblem. So Naranja Academy has an orange emblem, which is rich in an orange color, while Uva Academy is purple and embellished with a bunch of grapes. And to go along with Orange and Grape Academy, you're going to get uniforms that are going to match the color scheme depending on the version that you play. But if you're really not a fan of the uniforms in general, don't worry because customization is back. I hope there's going to be a lot of options in this because I actually had a lot of fun doing this in all the recent Pokemon games. It kind of felt like I had like 6 different characters by the time I made it to the end of the game. And by 6, I mean like 40. Spent all of my money on clothes like a goddamn fool. Also, you're not going to be the only one wearing a color-coded outfit. The director of the school will have a different suit depending on the version that you have. And Team Star is going to represent the appropriate color based on Scarlet or Violet. Speaking of Team Star, does anyone else miss the villains like Team Rocket or Magma? Maybe it's just me, but the recent bad guys don't always seem very exciting. For example, in Sword and Shield, Team Yell weren't really bad guys. Like, all they really did was just say, "You're not going to make it to the next gym," but then you do, and that's the end of it. So I guess I'm just hoping that Team Star is going to deliver in the new game. Now, for the most important part of the video, we're going to look at all the exclusive Pokemon to each version of the game. In Scarlet, we have the Tyranitar evolutions, Stonejourner, and Armarouge. I'm 100% sure I just said that wrong, but it's fine. We're fine. In Pokemon Violet, we have the Salamence evolutions, Ice-Cube, Ceruledge, and lastly we have Miraidon. I don't know about anybody else, but every time I look into the differences between Pokemon games, there's one that I very clearly like, but then out of nowhere, there's that one Pokemon where you're like, I want that. But I can't justify getting the game, so what I was thinking, and I feel like the answer is already no, but if anyone is willing to trade their Ceruledge for my Armarouge, I'm totally down. Just by looking at this list, it honestly seems like it's a little bit small. If you look at any of the previous games, there was actually a lot of exclusive Pokemon. So if we go back to Sword and Shield, you can see that there's just a ton of Pokemon. Now you could argue that this is solely due to the DLC in the game, and I get that I think there was like 3 DLCs to that game. But even looking at Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, there's again a big list of exclusive Pokemon. I'm starting to think that they do plan on doing a bunch of DLCs in this game, and over time that's just going to add to the list. If I had to guess, I would probably say there's going to be about 2 to 3. But it's also entirely possible that they do plan to add more to the game, and we're going to get a taste of that as we get closer and closer to the launch. And the last difference I wanted to talk about is the different modes that the legendaries can enter. So the first mode is Drive Mode. Koraidon turns into a sprinting motorcycle-like ride, and for some reason doesn't use his wheels. I don't know what that is, I don't know why, but I still love him. Koraidon, on the other hand, is going to transform into a very sleek hover bike that uses energy to accelerate. Next is the Aquatic Form. Koraidon's swimming build puffs up its front wheel to use it as a flotation device, while Miraidon's aquatic mode uses jet engines on its legs to move through the water. And the last form is Glide Form. Koraidon soars through the sky with wings on its head. Koraidon, on the other hand, makes its antennae extend and spread out what the Pokemon Company calls a membrane of energy. Alright everybody, that's going to cover it for this video. Which version of the game are you planning on getting? Let me know in the comments section below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.